I'm not happy. I'm not happy. You make me wait too long. Oh,
Oh boy. Hello, hello, and hello. Welcome to episode 42, Ladies of the Round Table. And producer Ian has given us a wonderful title for the show, The Voices in Your Head. Now, if that means something to you entirely different than it means to us, keep it to yourself. It's okay. We love you anyway. My name is Carmen Shervasta. I'm here with the usual girls at the table. That'd be Pixie, whichever direction she is. Not
Hey.
sure.
that
I'm
way.
to the right.
And
That
then
My,
that
my
way.
Nikki,
left. My
Wait,
left.
that
your
way?
left. Yeah, we're
No, this
directionally
way.
challenged
Yeah.
today. And Miss Nikki is with us
No, that
Oh
way.
no,
today.
you're on the right. Yeah. Hey.
And then, of course, our guest, Miss Danielle Mcrae.
Hello.
I'm kind of
Awesome.
squished. I'm kind of squished.
Kind of squished.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Makes me look thin.
That's the whole point,
Oh,
right?
How was
Oh,
everyone's
man.
holiday?
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for those of you who have come back every week, week after week. We love you for showing up. And those of you who are new and wondering what this is all about, we bring you the week's exciting and not so exciting gaming news with a little bit of a twist. We give you our real, honest opinion and tell you what we really think about the games and or whatever topics that are out there that we happen to like or dislike. We're keeping it real. It's every day, all day. And I think I'm gonna throw it to Pixie because I'll get started with tangent.
alrighty. So obviously we've kind of introduced our amazing guest today. But we do have Danielle Mcrae here. She has done voiceover acting for League of Legends, WoW, Skullgirls, Gargantia, PlanetSide 2, and tons more. So she's a voiceover actress residing in Los Angeles. She's a huge fan of video games and anime, and her passion has led her to pursue a voice acting career in the industry. So I want to go ahead and get right into some of the questions. Um, Before I have another fangirl moment. Excuse me, just a minute.
I
Gonna
think
cry.
she's been fairly successful at breaking into the industry. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, League and WoW both are huge credits. Huge.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little
They're
bit.
they're
Yeah.
not they're not at all small credits in any way, shape, or form. So how did you get started in the voiceover industry? What came first? Video games voiceover or anime?
Well, video games came first. My first love was with animation. And then my dad kind of got me hooked in video games, started playing it since I was like a little kid. And it was one of those things, voiceover was like one of those things I thought I would never ever do. I thought I would just be like playing Final Fantasy VII, pretending I was Cloud or Vincent and just like pretending in my house. I didn't think I was going to even do this. So it's amazing. It's been an amazing ride so far.
Props to the dads out there getting their girls into video games. And we hear
Yeah.
that more and more from a lot of people in the industry that um, we will call celebrity. You know, it happens to a lot of us girls. Some of the moms are out there doing it too, but the dads, come on, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Major
absolutely.
props.
I wish my dad had played video games with me, but sadly, I'm not sure he understands what a computer is.
What
Technically
happens?
challenged parental units. There's a lot of those out there too.
It
Hey,
took me
she's.
I kid you not, it took me like 5 hours to teach him how to set up an email account. So,
Oh,
Wait,
what
wait, wait,
are you
wait,
gonna
wait.
do?
Where are you from? Tennessee or something?
Whoa, first of all,
Uh-oh.
first of all,
Uh-oh. It's
I
about to
I
know.
get
may
First
be,
of
personal
all,
here.
I may be backwoods country, but I will come after you.
hey, I've met you in person. You're tiny. You're like a little
She's
button.
tiny and quick. Don't make her get
Yeah.
you. Don't see
Yeah,
her
I'm
coming.
scrappy. I'm like Scrappy dude.
Scrappy Doo.
So another question is, do you find yourself being typecast for voiceover work?
Luckily, I haven't really experienced that yet. No, I haven't experienced that, which is really good because I know some of my friends they get typecast and sometimes they like it and other times they're like, Well, it's a job, so I'm glad that I didn't go through that yet. But I'm sure it'll happen one day.
So, guys, if you have any questions, throw them out in the chat. If you got questions on Twitter, throw them up on Twitter because we'll get to those. And I have a question. I'd like to know, is there any, and you don't have to name the studio or the actual job, but has there been any jobs that you've passed over for voiceover work just because? And why? Why'd you choose not to?
The funny thing is, I audition for everything I get, or if I'm booked for something, I just go and record for it. There have been jobs that I've really, really wanted that I auditioned for, and it just didn't happen. And I'm very grateful that I don't turn down anything. So anything that kind of comes my way, I just take it.
Do you have an agent?
I do. I do have an agent. But most of the time I'm booking things freelance, so I'm working for myself. My agent kind of gives me auditions, but it's mostly me just hustling, going from studio to studio and putting my demos and stuff out there.
Now, do you
Getting
live in
on
an
that
area?
grind.
Do you live in an
Yes.
area where you can get that done? Do you live in Austin or California?
I live in California, in LA.
Okay.
She's in
Isn't
the
there-
Mecca for LA.
Isn't there like a website that a lot of voiceover actors use that lists a lot of the like the jobs?
There's one site that lists a lot of companies and in-house studios, like directors and stuff like that. It's called voicebank.com. And there's a lot of agencies. There's a list of agencies. There's a list of in-house studios. There's casting directors and all that stuff. So if you want to go and contact casting directors or agencies, if you're ready to make that first leap into voiceover with agency stuff, I'd recommend going to voicebank.com.
So I know sometimes we all do this. We pick and choose our favorites. Do you think you have a favorite job so far?
Favorite job? As in
Which game or I mean, like, personally, I love League, so League would be my favorite. But like, what's been your favorite voiceover job so far?
This is very cliche because I see all my roles as kids. They're like my little babies. So it's hard to pick one over the other. But if I had to pick one, I'd go for either League of Legends or Skullgirls.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
the two best games.
It's really
of the
hard
lot!
to
Ooh.
choose. So my babies, I can't choose between one of them.
The nice
But
thing is, those are my two favorite games you've done voiceover acting for.
Awesome. Awesome.
Has there been a voiceover gig that you went in for an audition for one character but came out an entirely different character? You know, because I know sometimes when you go in, you have this voice in mind that you wanted to do, but they decide on casting you for something else.
Yeah. Well, this actually did happen to me, but it wasn't for I auditioned for a character and they didn't like it, so they gave me another character. It was I auditioned for one character and then I gave them my take on the character they wanted me to audition for, and I did two takes. One take, which is my take, my version of their character, and then another take where they just throw out a description like, okay, you need to sound like, I don't know, Susan Sarandon and stuff like that. And I would give them two takes, one take for them, one take for me, and they just cast me based on my take for a show that
Oh, wow,
I
that's
did.
cool.
Yeah, so that happens
I
sometimes.
like
it's
that.
pretty interesting.
So
And
what's on the horizon for you right now? Like, what kind of games are you putting out for right now?
Oh
That
gosh,
didn't
let's
sound good. What
about
kind
it.
of game?
What
What
kind of
games are
game?
you auditioning for currently?
Well, she can't talk about it.
What kind of game, boy?
NDA.
Oh yeah, big NDA. I wish I could talk about it.
Yeah.
Kills me.
Well,
So is
we'll
there-
just go ahead.
Is there a genre of game you haven't done voiceover acting for that you would like kill to do it for?
I for the longest time I wanted to do Japanese RPGs for a while, and I still want to. I did a game called Atelier Esca and Logi, and that's kind of like a niche, kind of not really that popular, but it's getting a little popular around the States. But I'd love to do like a Final Fantasy or maybe like a BioWare game. I'm a slave to BioWare. So anything BioWare, I'd love to get my hands on that.
So, what are you currently playing right now, whether it be PC or console? What's your favorite go-to game to escape?
Well, thanks to a few friends of mine, when I go on PC, I play either League of Legends for many, many hours, or I play a game called Pongya, which is like a cute little anime golf game. You make your own character and you give them cute clothes, and it's super addicting.
I have to add, like, is it ever weird when you play League? Like, do you ever play Karma and you go, oh my god, I can't believe this is me?
Yeah.
Like, do you ever get one of those, like, weird moments?
Yeah. When I first, well, Karma was my very, very first character I actually voiced for. So when I started playing League with my friends and when Karma came out, I kept thinking I got cast. Like, it's not me, it's somebody else. It's so like that. I think I'm starting to get used to my voice being in somebody else's body, character-wise. It's surreal.
Who is that? Is that her breaking up?
Yeah,
Yep, she's turned into a robot!
we've got
Done!
robot. Yeah.
Done! We
That's
found
another
a new
voiceover, guys.
job!
You just didn't know. She was just
You can
auditioning for
officially
us.
be Big Six for Disney!
Yeah,
That was awesome. Big Six.
I love Big Six.
So you're going to work for Pixar. That's what you just said. No.
Oh yeah.
Called it!
Yes. The sequel to Wally.
Oh yeah.
Wally loves Eva!
So Danielle, can you tell some of the people in chat that maybe have even an inkling of breaking into this business or thought that, because for you, I'm sure you never thought that this would happen to you. How did this get started? Was it a hobby or any suggestions on how somebody could do this if they're thinking that they might want to try it out?
Yeah, I really recommend theater. I'm not sure if I still sound like a robot. I saw robots typed on the side screen. But
Very compressed.
but I'd recommend taking a lot of theater, whether it's high school theater or college, because a lot of voiceover is really about acting, and the voice kind of comes second. So with theater, you're really getting into that character, and the voice kind of.
We're not laughing at you, I promise.
Oh no, it's fine.
What if you're old bats like me and Shiv and you're almost 50? How do you start then if you can't go back to school and go to theater?
My gosh.
Sorry, Shiv.
Let's see. Well, I know that. Well, certain areas I know where I live, they have a whole bunch of theater playhouses, and they're always looking for people to audition for their plays. So
we go to senior center, Nikki.
the theater senior center.
They'll let us
try out.
We go where all the cougars hang out. Oh, sorry. we're
They'd
too old
put
to
on
be
Peter
cougars.
Pan, but they'd break their hips.
Woo! We're having so much fun now.
Oh, God.
Oh my goodness. So what you're saying, Danielle, is that you need to experience some theater with maybe some what is that called? I keep wanting to say spontaneity, but that's not the word. But some improv. That's what I'm looking for.
Proud.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to a comedy club.
That works too. Anything where you're expressing your creativity, whether it's through comedy or theater, that really helps.
You do a podcast every Friday night.
That's right,
There you
people.
go.
Get outside the comfort zone. It's basically what we're trying to tell you. You never know what those talents may be that you have lurking inside your inner geek.
Yep. We can get Pixie a job.
Oh, let's go over to hot topics, guys.
Who's first?
All right, I'm first. Woohoo.
All right. Do you want
So,
the pepperoni one? No, sorry.
So I want the pepper.
I thought she said Hot Pockets. I'm sorry.
Nikki's got jokes.
Pockets. So suicide. Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
You made her do it, Nikki.
I'm so
You made her do
sorry.
it.
She burped out loud before.
Look.
Oh, for
I'm
those
just
of you
letting
that are
everybody
listening
know
to
what
this
a
later,
classy
that it's
gal I am.
audio, we we love you. We really do.
We do.
So they revealed the cast of Suicide Squad. So there's been some announcing done for Suicide Squad. There's going to be Jared Leto as the Joker, Will Smith as Deadshot, which I have to say, Tom Hardy as Rick Flag, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, Jake Courtney as Boomerang, and Cara Delevingne as Enchantress will make up the all-star cast of Warner Brothers' supervillain tentpole Suicide Squad. It was announced on Tuesday. So it's based on the DC comic book. The story centers on the team of supervillains who are given a chance at redemption by the government. The catch, their mission's probably going to kill them all. The actors' names had long been rumored for the high-profile movie, which opens August 5th, 2016, but their deals and characters hadn't been finalized.
That's yeah. Will Smith was Deadshot. I
I
can't
like,
picture it in my mind yet.
do you know who I think would be awesome?
Who is that, Pixie?
Deadshot an arrow?
Oh God, I just lost his name. Oh God, is it Spike Lee? It's not Spike Lee.
We'll come back to you.
Wesley Snipes?
Yes, Wesley Snipes. Thank you.
Okay,
'Cause
Spike
he's such
Lee.
an angry
That
dude.
is two totally different black men.
I know.
Spike Lee and Wesley Snipes, they don't all look alike, Pixie. Come on now.
Oh, she's
Wow.
from Tennessee.
No, here's the thing. I always get the two of them confused because I always think they're angry. And that's why I like them.
Oh, stereotype. No, we're not going there today.
No, it's not stereotyping. They're always angry in like every movie I've ever seen them in.
Oh, girlfriend. We're moving on from that topic. That's touchy. Anyways, Danielle, what do you think about these casts?
Are you a big comic book fan?
I am. I haven't followed Suicide Squad, sadly, but I do love Jared Leto, though. I really love Jared Leto.
Yeah,
It's
Aegon
like-
says Deadshot wears a mask all the time anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay,
But I
good
want
point.
Deadshot to be like angry and brooding and like mad.
Underneath the mask, he's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know that. Like, I don't know that I see that in Will Smith.
Yeah, we're so used to Will Smith playing the characters that are happy and
Or like really
uh,
tragically
dramatic.
sad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be. You know what? We're gonna see if he can reach that range. I guess.
So when is this out?
2016.
So this is one of those 30 movies that they're making between
Yes.
now and 2020?
Yes, Marvel is just racking them up.
Well, that's
and-
not Marvel. That's DC.
Well, it's Marvel Studios, right?
No. Is it?
If I'm not mistaken. It's Marvel Studios based on the DC comic book.
How is
So
that
they
going?
own the rights.
No,
Was
Warner
it's
Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Warner
okay.
Brothers owns the rights to that.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, no.
They just keep lining up these movies.
Yeah, that's different. They're going against. I mean, this is their answer to what's going on with Disney and Marvel. So it's going to be different.
It is different because that cast is an eclectic mix.
Yeah,
I don't know about
it's-
you, but I would have never put all those together.
It'll probably work out in the end.
I believe it will. I don't know. What do you think, Pixie? You think it's going to be something you're going to want to go see?
Did we lose Pixie?
Mm.
She's thinking about it.
Well, you got to wait and see.
I don't know that I do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Danielle, you think you're going to want to go see this?
Probably. I'd probably go and see it because I'm a sucker for comic book movies, and this is one that I kind of want to read up on first before I go see it. So yeah, definitely.
That's interesting. Do you think that this type of movie is going to bulk up the sales for the comic book? Because there's some people that just don't know these particular characters. What do you guys think? Do you think you're going to see some rise in sales, just like anything else?
I think this is different, right? Because most of the DC, in fact, all of the DC success has been in the Batman franchise in the last 20 years, right? Nothing else. Green Lantern was not that wonderful. I mean, when you think about the other DC movies, they weren't that great. Am I missing anything, Pixie? There wasn't any really good DC movies except for Batman, right? Superman, yeah, right? Man of
Was
Steel.
Hellboy DC? That's a while ago, but it wasn't bad.
What the? Did you really just say Superman was good? That movie was shithouse.
Which Superman are we
Tell her
talking
how you
about?
really feel. The first one or the second one?
Both?
Okay, both.
All right.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's
I don't
just
know.
I don't like here's my problem, and this is what I think DC is trying to do, and I think DC needs to stop. Just stop.
Dark Horse. Thanks, Aegon.
The thing is Marvel has a lot of really well-known superheroes. It's just a fact. You know Thor, you know Captain America, you know the Hulk. Like, even though he's not quite such a hero. Like,
Right.
you know these characters. They're very well known. DC has a lot of, like, to me, DC has a little bit more cult to their following.
But a lot of us
Like,
grew up with them, you know?
of course, yeah. And I mean, I love the
Justice
progression of
League
DC
every Saturday
comics.
morning, right? Wonder
Like,
Woman.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's our heritage, our childhood.
Shazam
Yeah.
and ISIS.
I mean,
Yes.
and like that's not
Yeah.
a bad thing, but if you
Pop
look at the
Girl.
grand scheme of like modern culture and like
Right.
what people really know as far as comic books now, like
Batman.
most of it is Marvel, especially among my generation. And the problem is that what they're trying to do is they're trying to cap off that because everybody loves comics, like everybody loves superheroes. Like there was an entire television series on like, or it was an expose. I don't. It was on why superheroes were necessary to like human culture, essentially, and it's the thing is they're trying to like push for their heroes and their villains more and more, and I think they're doing okay with it. Like I think Gotham's okay. I think it's an okay show. I think Arrow's okay. I think The Flash is okay. But I wish that they would stop pushing so hard because I feel like they're not getting the correct casting and the correct directors and the correct writers. And like Christopher Nolan's Batman was amazing. Like it was great. It was a great movie. All three of them were fantastic.
I think that
All
I
right.
think that
Casting
there's
in them was wonderful.
there's a lot
And-
of people that would disagree that they're not getting the right actors or the casting or the writers, and I think that it's hard to please a lot of us all of the time.
But like if
So
you
it's
look at the
interpretation.
old Warner Brothers Batman movies, like Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, like come on.
Yeah, but those movies weren't made, Pixie. Those movies were made from the quirky Batman from the 60s, that Batman. Not the
I know.
dark one that you young kids want to see that just has no morals whatsoever and just wants to kill things, right?
Whoa.
So the one that
That
we
is not how Batman works.
well, that's how the Dark Knight
We're saying the brooding Batman is
know
what
what I
you
mean?
guys
He's
have.
dark and brooding and his parents are dead and he's just
Yeah.
a little emo, okay?
yeah, but we had the guy that's now the mayor of Springfield, I guess. I don't know, where is he? It's like the mayor of one of the towns. But it's totally different from what we grew up with, and even the Superman and the Batman and the Wonder Woman that were in the Justice League cartoons, right, are quite different than what you have right now, right?
It's
Quite
true.
different.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's a whole other genre
But I
of
mean that's like the evolution of comics. That's the
Yeah.
evolution of anything. I just wish what I wish is that Warner Brothers could just manage to get Joss Whedon to do some of this. 'Cause
Yes,
God, I
that
love that guy.
awesome. Yes. But-
He's
Yeah.
just so
Whoa.
good.
Chat's having a pretty good conversation.
Oh, I just missed it because I'm ready to talk about my stuff. Oh, Marvel sadly got a head
They
start.
got a head
No,
start.
it's not a head start because DC had the stuff first. They were doing the Superman movies back in the 80s and stuff. So Marvel didn't come out until after that. They did what? Was it first? Was it X-Men or was it the Fantastic Four or the combination of those two that started it all, right?
I
So
think
it
it's
wasn't-
combination. I would agree.
It wasn't until Disney bought Marvel that things didn't really start to take over and they did the reboots. You know, it was like Iron Man 2, the reboot, right? It started to change things. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for everything that's coming out and what you're going to talk about later. So mine has to do
Yeah.
with BioWare, right? So I don't
Danielle
know.
like BioWare. Danielle
Yeah,
like this topic.
I'm not.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is a tough one to just read off because it's
Just ad
so
lib it.
ad lib it. And so this is a few years ago, BioWare held a panel over at PAX, and they were trying to talk to the LGBTQ community about representation in gaming. And, there still is not a whole lot of representation for anybody in the LGBTQ community. And what they said was that they were looking. I guess they're going to be adding this trans character into the Dragon Age at some point in the future, and they're talking about how to incorporate it in to the game, not just to make it that, oh, we're going to put this character into the game and that's it, or um, make it so people are just going to see it and say, wow, that just doesn't work. So they're trying to figure out how to get it into the game, get this person into the game so people just say, oh, that makes sense. And I know that BioWare could do this, but when you think about what they've already done with some of their games, like essentially the whole Mass Effect series and even the original BioWare, one of the Star Wars The Old Republics, um, they were okay with having, straight and gay relationships that you would follow along with either Shepard or with your Revan character inside of Star Wars. So I don't see why this is such a big deal. They seem to. Oh, Siri's trying to pick up for me over here. Um, it just I don't see why it's a big deal if they could effectively put those in there with no effort, which it seems like no effort, and then to have an issue like this where just put it in there. What does it matter? You guys are like the king, queen, whatever of building this genre. So to me, it's kind of like just do it.
I think
um,
that for BioWare, it's not a big deal because they've obviously been
yeah,
integrating this into slowly into their games, and they're not making it a big deal, a big media hoopla, and they're just letting it roll because they're trying to satisfy what they feel is their type of players, knowing that they want diversity in their games because that's what they have as an audience, and I applaud them for that.
right.
Instead of what we see from some studios that they make a semi well-rounded female character and they want to just have everybody in the world know that they've done this and they want all the accolades for it, which it should be done anyway. It should be an expectation that we all have, but the studio thinks it's just some great big thing. I think that this is great that they're integrating this into the game. They're doing it with respect and with intelligence and making it fit into the storyline, not just to throw something in there to bulk sales.
Well, like, how weird would it be if they, like, I can't imagine, and this is why I love BioWare. Like, I feel like everything they do is so purposeful, and I think it's so great of them because I feel like of the companies who can not only do this and pull it off successfully so as to cause as little controversy as possible, because I don't think there should be controversy over this. I really don't. Like, it's a fact, like, these are all facts of life now. Like, they're lesbians, they're gays, they're genderqueers, they're trans, like, it all exists. We're all, like, weird, loopy, sexual human beings with different desires. And I think that BioWare doing it is super great because I feel like what they're going to do is they're going to implement it into the plot so that it doesn't feel like it's just being shoved in your face.
Right.
And I think that's super important because I feel like a lot of the time when things like this are put in games or discussed, people feel like it's being shoved in their face, and there's a lot of backlash from that, even though there shouldn't be, if that makes any sense.
I hear you. And now, when I started to read this before, Carmen, because you said, this is one of the things that we could talk about. it brought me back to last year, and right around April of last year, DC Comics introduced a trans character into one of the Batman comics. Does anyone remember that? So
Anybody in chat?
okay, so Batgirl has a roommate, and the roommate comes out to Batgirl that she's transgender. So that was a big thing last year that they actually introduced this into a mainstream comic that was actually not, that wasn't just thrown in there, but was actually put in a thoughtful way. So I think that BioWare doing this in gaming is actually the first representation that I've seen in gaming that's not a Japanese or a Korean MMO where I've seen that. So it's in
I think
our
it's
everyday.
I agree. It's the
good.
first major AAA studio
Yeah.
or major studio to do this, and I think it's an intelligent move on their part. What do you think,
I do
Danielle?
too.
I
Yeah,
love
no.
how they're taking. I love how they're taking a risk with everything. How it's not like they don't want to make it cookie cutter. They just want to take a risk and see where they're going with it. I think they're doing a really great job.
Well,
That's a really good move.
it's about time. It's not something I look for, being trans. I don't demand that there be trans representation out there, but the fact that they go out there and do it, I think that's a good deal. I think that BioWare skirting those edges of what society thinks is right or wrong, I give them kudos for it. I think it's wonderful. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
I think that it's kind of awesome that in the article that we read, they said a few years ago that they had this PAX panel, and for them to be not only listening, thanks for the follow, Ash, not only listening, but taking into consideration and then rolling it into a major game like this, because they could have stuck this in any other game. They could have put this in something tucked away, but this is a big release for them. And they
Right.
took the time to think where they were going to put it, strategically place it, and do it in, like I said, in a way that made sense not only to the writers and the developers, but made sense to the people that are going to play this game. So we give BioWare some props. That
Two
almost makes me
thumbs
want to go get the
way,
game.
way
I
up.
wasn't gonna play it, but I'm thinking I might.
What, Inquisition?
Yeah,
How could
I
you
haven't.
not? How could you say
I
that
have.
you didn't think that you were going to play
I
this
have
game?
no time. I'm gonna have to carve
Honey,
out
this
time.
is
Oh
BioWare.
God, Nikki's
Make
gonna beat
time.
me. She's gonna beat me.
She's gonna
Why?
beat us all. She's about to get that stick out and
Why?
whack
I'm
You'll
not
us.
gonna
never.
play it.
You're not going to play a BioWare game?
Nope, because you know what? I'm too busy playing Batman
Infinite
3
Crisis?
Lego.
Oh,
Yeah,
Batman
Lego,
3
yeah.
Lego?
Lego
Oh,
Batman 3.
Let's not even talk about the Steam sale, okay? Middle
Oh,
Earth.
Let's
God.
not. We'll leave that till last, because we'll be all day talking about that Steam sale.
All right.
I mean,
Next
everybody
up,
in the
you're
chat,
up.
Nikki, what's up with the chat? I see some things rolling by. We got some comments on this topic.
we had some comments on this, but Chris, who must be I'm sorry, my voice is going. Too much work. I work in retail. But Chris Winchester, first night here, is saying, "Well, this is a cool show. How often is it on?" So everybody's jumping in there to make sure that they know it's on every work week. We're on every week unless it's a holiday week. So that's pretty cool. But outside of that, just people talking about us. Who's the girl on the right? That is Pixie.
Apparently, I'm cute.
Pixie is
Droopy
cute.
wants to know, where's the Skull Girls? He's like, where's the Skull Girls? That's what he came for.
She's the one that doesn't have an image up here because
Yeah, I just have a little picture. I'm sorry.
So just
Yeah.
just for fun,
Oh,
I'd like to have
We
Danielle
have a
do a
great
voice.
question for Danielle, real quick.
Oh,
So,
Breaking news. Go ahead.
what anime would you recommend someone start with if their only real interaction with anime was Dragon Ball Z?
Well, I started off with Pokemon, so I totally recommend Pokemon. Or if you like the whole magical girl thing, I go for Sailor Moon.
Do you like
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Sour.
you-
I watched a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't have any issue with it. I like Yu-Gi-Oh!
I
I
knew
like
Aegon was gonna
Yu-Gi-Oh.
put Bebop up there.
Dude,
Yeah,
Cowboy Bebop
Bebop's
is
another
the
one.
shiznits.
It is.
Bebop's
it is
another
a
one.
shiznit.
I really liked Bleach. I don't like
Yeah,
it so much
Bleach-
anymore.
Bleach wasn't bad. Bleach wasn't bad. What about oh gosh. You know, back
What's the one with the little hamster?
Was that
hamster. I
Hamtaro?
don't know
Yeah,
what you're
Hamtaro.
watching.
I think
Hamtaro!
that's Hamtaro. That's a cute one.
I don't
It's
know what that is, but I
adorable.
gotta
He's
go
a little
watch it.
hamster.
It's so cute.
A little hamster. A
That
Yeah, it's
sounds
hamster.
very
adorable.
cute.
Hamster.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so funny. Hamtaro. Okay.
All
Bleach is
right.
so long.
What's
Guardian
Bleach?
Z. Yeah.
Guardian Z.
Oh.
I know a lot of people really like Death Note.
Okay. There's a couple suggestions out there. So Pixie, because you are I knew you were going to have a big fangirl moment and you're probably still going to be geeking out after the show. I'd like you to pick just one voice for Danielle to do for us. Just one now. Come on, we only get one. And we're going to have her do just a little sneak peek for us of
Did you
she's
ask
going to say
her if
something.
She could do that?
Yes, she will.
Oh, I don't mind. It's totally
See?
cool.
Okay, so because I love this, please pain wheel, please.
Pain
Sure
wheel.
thing. Did you want me to say anything, or did you have anything in mind you want me to say?
Why
No.
don't
Pain
you
wheel?
Just whatever you want.
All
Say
right.
the one thing they have. They say over and over and over again.
in that game?
Oh, I know that line. Death Crawl! That is like the
Oh.
most requested line.
She loves that. Sword Art Online. That is a good one, Aegon. I really liked Sword Art.
That's a
That
good
was
one.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
My kid is watching I gotta think of what she's watching. She's been watching it forever and she's Fairy Tale. She loves Fairy Tale.
Oh, I haven't watched that yet. I've heard a lot of good things about Fairy Tale.
It's supposed to be the Shizney, you know what I'm saying? And for a 13-year-old to be watching it, it's a mother approved. I've seen it. It's all right. Ooh, we ready to roll into the next
Yes.
feature? Are we in
Yeah,
that's
Still
you.
hot topics.
Please
Ooh.
be aware, this may in fact be a touchy topic before we start on this.
Carmen give off her.
Yeah, if you're running speakers, guys, you got kids in the room, you might want to take a moment to escort them out because we are a M-rated show. So I'll give you just a few minutes here, and then we're gonna roll into the next topic. All right, so you got
Whereas
about 30 seconds.
M-rated is the YMCA.
Now, is this where you're going to talk about Shavasta? You were up next, right?
I'm up next.
Okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, everyone. Okay, hold your ears.
Hold your ears. Thanks for the follow,
I just want to
Herman.
make sure people are prepared because it is a touchy topic.
All right, so your kids should be out of the room. I'm looking at chat. So funny.
Absolutely.
All right, so game reviewer Aaliyah Pierce is now contacting the mothers of a couple of boys who decided that they would send her some rape threats across the Facebook interwebs. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I'm so very, very excited, and I have so much props for this particular young lady who decided to stand up against some internet trolling that was going on and do something that maybe not a lot of us would decide to do. I'm not recommending that you do it yourself, but I'm pretty excited about the fact that she said, "The hell with it. I'm going to take this into my own hands and see what I can do." So basically, the 21-year-old student and video game reviewer, like most of us who get online and blog about what they love and talk about the things that you're doing, who happens to be in Brisbane, Australia, decided that the two boys that were harassing her and sending her threats, she wanted to get on her Facebook. She decided to send messages to their parents on their Facebook and say, "Hey, did you realize that this is what your son or sons has sent to me via Facebook?" And she copied the message in its entirety over to the parents. And the mothers were not only appalled and shocked, but embarrassed. And they decided that they would get their sons to not only apologize to her, but write handwritten notes and go to school and tell all of their friends how much of an ass that they just made themselves, and shame the hell out of them because the mothers were like, absolutely not. And I'm just a happy camper over here. I'm like, right on. You shame those little shits and you make them feel bad about what they're doing because it's not okay. And I believe that half the time parents don't even know this is going on. Like Nikki said last week, I
Ding
think we
ding.
talked about a lot of parents, they're just whatever, their kids are online playing the game or they're on the Xbox with their little headphones and, talking that smack and trolling and don't get
Yep.
busted.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know about you guys, but this makes my heart happy. What do you think, Nikki?
I feel the same way. That's why I was waiting for you to talk. So yeah, definitely, definitely. Having a young daughter, two young sons, but having a young daughter, 18 now and fucking hot. Yeah, it does. It does make me feel good.
Now, again, I would not recommend that you just go off and just think you're going to do this yourself and take on a troll because sometimes it could get, hella out of hand. And there's things that on the internet that, you should just ignore and just let it roll off your shoulder and not take it personally. But in this case, these two boys were minors and underage, and it turned out well. Pixie, what do you think?
I think it's awesome. I think it's really important that a message gets sent. And I think her standing up for herself and contacting these kids' parents is awesome. I think what she did was incredibly mature. And I think it speaks really highly of her. And I also think it speaks really highly of the parents that they were also concerned and didn't dismiss it. Because some parents might go, well, what the fuck ever.
Right. Not my kid.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong person.
Not my kid. You must
I don't care
be
if
crazy. My kid would never do that.
They didn't
Or
write
turn
that.
it back around on her and say, what did you say to them?
Right.
Because, to be defensive is a natural reaction of most people, let alone parents. Not my
Right.
boy. What do you think, Danielle?
I think it's awesome. I admire her courage. So I could never do anything like that,
God.
but I give her all my kudos. She's awesome.
Awesome. There's a link in the chat, you guys, if you want to see the actual article. I'm sure in the article it mentions where her blog is. So if you want to check her out, see what she's writing, see what she's reviewing, tell her that you heard about her story and pat her on the back. It's a little different nowadays. Instead of just getting the smack down, letting everybody run roughshod all over you.
Mhm.
We're proud to see that a 21-year-old young lady has taken the charge of her life and is like, I'm not doing it. And the parents. God dang, that makes me happy. Anyways, we're going to roll on to features, right, Pix?
Yep. We're going to go ahead and let Nikki go first because she's got 2.
I've got more than 2, but I'll do the 2 that are here. So the first one is there's a lot of information coming out of Marvel. That's why Shavasta thought that this might have been Marvel
did.
before. Yeah, so we have Benedict Cumberbatch. I can't even pronounce his name. Cumberbatch has entered the world of mystic arts. The actor will star in Marvel's Doctor Strange, and that's going to hit the theaters in just about 2 years from now, November 4th of 2016. And Ian probably has a link to that for us, but that's pretty cool. And the second one is my favorite because I just watched this with my kids last week when we were off. Guardians of the Galaxy at the very end. At the very end, it says will return, and they weren't going to be returning. When I read that and I went looking, it said that they wouldn't be out until like 2018, right, Pixie? It was like later, like 18 or 19, and now they're going to actually be back May 5th of 2017, and that is pretty awesome because everyone told me how great that movie was, and for whatever reason, I just couldn't get to the movie theaters to see it. And the day it left the movie theaters, iTunes had it, and I purchased it. And then we got a brand new 4K TV, and we have huge sound system installed. and my kids come over from they come back from football. Daughter comes back from college, and we all sat down and watched it. So keep on saying coming over because my daughter's always gone at college now. That was the best one. That was one of my most favorite Marvel movies yet. And I think it was done very well. And that's what I like about Marvel. The stories are rich, the characters are amazing, the special effects don't take over the movie. They kind of like are worked into the movie. So this coming back is really good because I think that this was one of those superhero movies that you can bring your young kids to in some ways and actually have a good time. So I can't wait to see it. And Star-Lord, can't wait to see you back on my big screen. So.
Well, and the thing is, too, is like Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, like, people know of them, but they're not Iron Man status, right?
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that they were able to do it and it was goofy and funny and, like, heartwarming, like, was super great. I was just super excited when I found out that you could get the awesome mixtape on Google Play for free that one week.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Oh wait, they had the mixtape.
OMG.
Yes.
Oh God, yes.
I think it was for like
didn't
a day
know
or
that.
so.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that, but I think it's actually part of the extras in the movies when you buy the Blu-ray. So that will be cool.
Let me tell you, my child is so sick of listening to that soundtrack because it's a dance
Oh.
party every day for Shavasta.
Yeah.
Oh,
But we grew up with that music,
Yes,
Shavasta.
that
I mean,
is-
come on. That's what our parents were. They were torturing us with that in the car every time we went
You know
driving.
what? It wasn't torture for me. I'm a disco
Yeah.
baby. I
No,
love
I'm
it
not-
all day long.
I'm not knocking.
It was
I'm saying-
awesome, and the fact that we don't have to wait so long makes me excited. And you're right, Nikki. The one thing about that movie was I couldn't wait for it to come on DVD because
Right.
the experience that I had with my family when I was in the theater was so awesome that I was like, we got to buy it. We have to get
Right.
it. When is it coming out? Because it's so you can watch it over and over again. It's one of those
Yep.
things you can go back to and just throw it in the DVD player or whatever you're going to do, stream it, whatever you're going to do. And it's awesome. And it just it's never going to get old. It's going to be
Love
one of
it.
those things that we're going to watch together, like Nemo or whatever you want to call
Yep.
it, you know.
Well, I bought that, and then every time I buy one of the Marvel movies now, I get an email from Disney because it's a Disney movie, and then I get an email from Marvel, and I got some cool things from Marvel for it, but Disney was like, buy these right now for $25 for both, so I wound up with Thor 2 and Captain America Winter Soldier also, so that was pretty cool.
Danielle, did you
Sorry.
see the movie? I'm assuming yes.
I did. I saw it in the theaters 3 times.
Three
And,
times?
Go ahead,
I
girl.
loved it. And
It's worth it.
and I'm planning on getting the DVD like really, really soon because I really
Yeah.
loved it. And a
Yeah.
friend of mine dared me to dress up as Gamora on there, and I'm like,
Oh.
okay, well, we'll make this happen somehow. So I
And
did
do you
that.
own the
too.
mixtape? Do you own the mixtape?
Yes, I do. I
Oh,
have
okay.
the mixtape. I
Which-
love it.
Which mixtape? The first one or the second one he finds?
It's the ultimate mixtape. It's the only one he actually really played.
Which would be the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Ultimate Mixtape 1.
Yeah, mixtape 1. And I think that if you don't own it, you need to go get it right meow. All right,
Yes.
people.
What I'm
Tell-
super excited about is the fact that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is going to be all about Ultimate Mixtape 2.
Oh, you know it, yeah.
Oh, it's
Like,
a party
what
in
could
your
get
head every
better?
time you think about that movie. I mean, it makes you happy. That's what movies should be like. You know, you want to lose yourself in it, and you want to come away with a smile on your face, and maybe, just maybe, if you're lucky, share the popcorn with the person next to you.
Yeah. I think the third time I watched that movie, I was really depressed before I watched it. And then I came out of the theater and I'm like, I'm not even depressed anymore. I'm so happy. I just love how movies like that can kind of transform your whole entire mood and make you just feel so positive and happy. I like that. I love that movie so much.
So
Everybody in chat's been talking
I'm
about it. They
seeing
watched it.
some interesting conversations about how Turtles and Galaxy were in the theaters at the same time,
Oh.
and it got overlooked. And then Aegon, of course, says that the new Turtles was a travesty to the TMNT name. I have to say, I'm going to disagree here. While I do not think it was as good as the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, which I saw when I was much younger in theaters, by the way,
Where
She
did
was like
that come
7.
from?
that it was
Aegon.
not that bad. It could have been way worse. And you have to admit, it could have been 10 times worse.
So since when do we review something and say it could have been worse? If it's bad, it's just bad. There's no it
Because
could
here's
have
the
been
thing.
worse.
Here's the thing you have to realize. Like, I have nostalgia for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Here's
Like
the
what?
thing, we all have
And
nostalgia
so,
for
like,
various
the
things
movie
in our
can
life.
be, the movie can be like, I would like it. I wouldn't have paid to see it in theaters, flat out.
Okay.
I rented it on my Xbone, and I was like, it was worth watching once. Like, I don't necessarily think that makes it a horrible movie. Like, unlike
So-
The Departed, which puts me to sleep every time I try to watch it.
The Departed?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I can't stay awake in that movie. I just can't. It's like it's literally like you put it on and it's like a lullaby for a baby. I'm just like out.
You know,
I
that's just a
cannot stay
generational
awake.
thing, I think, Nikki. We just went. We just.
I think when our daughter grows up and she starts reading at the 10th grade level, she'll no. Pixie, I'm just
Whoa.
kidding.
Oh,
I'm
burn!
just-
Whoa.
I'm just kidding. You know
Whoa,
that.
I'm
Well, I
done
have
with
to say
this.
that, you know,
Oh, come on.
we've got
oh,
some.
get
we've got
back
some
here,
other
you
comments in
bitch.
chat that the Planet of the Apes reboot was pretty awesome. And if you want to talk about
Please come
things
back,
being
Pixie.
nostalgic, Nikki and I grew up with the original Planet
Sorry.
of the Apes, and then they remade the movie. And I can honestly say, for me, the movie was okay. The remake was okay. But if you want to talk about nostalgia, you're right. I prefer the older ones because
Wait. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was okay.
I think it was okay for me because that's not my. I don't normally watch those types of movies. So for me, it was okay. Right? It's like saying Wonder Woman back in the day was awesome with her invisible plane, you know, and Linda Carter. And now the new one's coming out. So what's going to happen when I watch the new one?
It's
I'm going
okay.
to automatically compare it to what I watched as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're always going to love
Alright.
the original for what it was.
All right. I don't know. I compare them against themselves, not against what was, because a lot of times when you go back and watch those old movies again or those old TV shows, it's not exactly what you remember it being, so you should never go back and watch, you know?
I agree because
It's
your
like-
mindset's totally different as an adult than
Yeah,
it was when you were
it's
14-year-old
like-
or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it's like I watch so much Hulu, and Hulu keeps on putting in now on Hulu, Lost in Space. I'm like, really? I got to go back and watch that TV show, Danger. I'm like, it was good back then because that was, that was state of the art. You go back and watch it today, and it's like,
Yeah.
you could see the strings holding the rocks as they're picking them up. You know, it's like, yeah, okay. So it's all right. Okay.
Let's
Next.
agree that Sony must give the rights to Spider-Man to Marvel, says.
I'm just saying there's some
Well-
movies that aren't like that, and thank you, Disney. All of your childhood movies that I grew up with, I still go back and watch them. So just thank you, even though apparently you do all kinds of dirty, horrible things to your movies.
Alrighty.
Next,
On that
next
note,
topic.
we're gonna move over to.
It's gonna bleed right in. You'll
It's
understand.
gonna bleed right in, right? Telltale Games released their Game of Thrones series based loosely on the HBO TV show, as you guys know, and their story is about House of Forrester. Now, if you guys want to learn more about House of Forrester and get more details, there's an article up on our website that I wrote the other day in a review. Tells you all about House of Forrester and what the game's going to be about. The game actually, it ends the TV show in season 3 of the TV show, I'm sorry, and right before season 5, so you can visit, your familiar locations like the King's Landing Wall. You're going to see characters that you're familiar with, that you've seen on the show. It's going to be 4 to 6 weeks apart for each episode, which we all call DLCs. And you're going to be able to play it on the Xbox, Xbox One, PlayStation 3 and 4, PC, and eventually it's going to be compatible for the iOS. So if you want to check it out, check it out. I know that one of our stream team streamers, Regality TX, is going to be streaming it on Lort channel at some point next week. And I'm sure there'll be some other people playing it on the Twitch, so you can see what that gameplay looks like before you go out and buy it. Does anybody in chat have it already? I don't know.
It's not out yet, right?
It's out.
It is out.
It is out. Because I have a copy.
I have not played it. I was intending to tonight.
Yeah, Aegon says he won't be streaming the whole series until he can do a full playthrough. I understand that. Oh, Commando. That's so bad. I mean, it's interesting that they brought a whole other house in, and they're making, characters that you can play both characters that and then this new house. So you'll be able to do, I think, up to 6 characters in this game. I don't know. I have to get in there. I might be like Aegon and just wait till they do the whole series, and then that way I can experience the whole thing instead of waiting. Wolf Among Us, I played that, and I played the first season, and then I had to wait. And then I got the next one, then I had to wait, and I was kind of restless, so that might be the way to go.
Yeah, I think with Telltale, since their games are really good, I played the first seasons and second season of The Walking Dead, and I played it episode after episode, and it really hurt because it's when's it coming out? So it's
right.
Yeah.
It's better to wait a little bit so you have a couple to do, right?
Yes, definitely, because the stories are so rich. Telltale has great stories. That Wolf Among Us, boy, I'm still blown away about that game. That I love it. I love those fables. It was awesome.
This War of Mine, I am still just so enthralled.
Oh, have you played it?
Oh yeah,
I've watched a lot of my favorite YouTubers playing it, and they seem to do great with it.
It's so good.
So what do you do when Boris gets depressed because you had him kill somebody?
I haven't had him kill anybody yet.
Okay.
I've legit tried to help everyone. Like,
but
10,000%.
sometimes you can't.
Sometimes you can't.
What do you do when somebody comes into your place with a gun?
So, Chris, I think we've all played Wolf Among Us here on the panel.
That hasn't happened yet. Does that happen, Nikki?
Okay. Yeah, it does. Just chill. You'll see. You'll get to it.
So, Pixie, what's up with your GTA?
Okay. So, as some of you guys might have heard, Grand Theft Auto has been pulled from some retailers. There have been some online petitions. Grand Theft Auto was officially pulled off the shelves in not only Target, but also in certain Kmart locations in Australia, and they're considering doing it here. It's kind of a huge deal. It's the new Grand Theft Auto. There's been a lot of backlash. There are a lot of people who say that it, promotes murdering women and, violence towards women. And there are a lot of people who are like, it's a video game. Artistic license, things like that. So there's a huge, huge uproar about it. I've got a link to the specific article that I like that I feel covers it the best. And I'll have Ian throw that up in the chat. But it's been a huge deal. One of the biggest things is that Target and Kmart are owned by the same retail group, which is why it's happened in multiple locations instead of just one or the other. And there's been tons of backlash across Australia. People are super upset, not okay with it. And Rockstar Games has not commented on the issue yet. So I'm really interested to see if they do and or will and what they say.
Interesting. Commando, thanks for the follow, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, Nikki, go for it.
No, I mean, working in retail, I shade away from some of that stuff, but we're not a country that actually see that is done in Australia, that's done in Britain, where they can censor that type of material. So it's not unheard of to do it in those countries, okay? And if you go back, Grand Theft Auto 3, San Andreas, those things have also gone through that in those countries. To have that happen here, it's almost like Tippa Gore is back trying to put the M's on our albums that we listen to.
Right.
Remember that? Do you remember when she was doing that? And so
Yes.
it's my job as a parent to police my children, right? We don't stop movies from going into a movie theater because they're rated R or X, We just don't go see it. We don't buy it. We don't let our kids play it. So we already have the proper means by which to label those. And if there's an M on it or a T on it, we as parents, it's our job to police that, not some fuckhead in the government that's going to tell me whether I could have it or not. Now, it's also the right of the retailer, whoever they are, to carry or not carry that type of content based on what type of retailer they want to be. So if Target and Kmart don't want to carry it in this country, and GameStop and other places do want to carry, notice how I'm skating around other places, I think that's okay. It's their choice as a retailer to carry it or not carry it. As long as it's not coming from a government agency that you can't sell it, I'm okay. But when that starts happening, then I'll flip out. So if those companies don't want to carry it, that's fine. We just go somewhere else and buy it. That's all. They lose the money for that. And face it, once Xboxes and PlayStations actually have big enough hard drives, the whole content on a disc is done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so like a laser disc, it's out of there.
Yeah, it's done. It's all going to be downloads anyway. Steam
Yeah.
is the only way that I get my games for my PC. Not the only way, but the major way, right?
Well,
So,
you can't even go into a GameStop nowadays and say, I want the box. I mean, you have to order it. They don't carry the
right,
disc anymore. Or major retailers like that, you get the code. And I agree with you, Nikki.
right,
I think that as long as I have the ability as a parent to police my child and or whoever else is in my house, that's not an adult to say that you can or cannot play this, I think that I'm okay with that. And at a retailer level, you're right, they have the ability to take it off the shelves if they want to, but there also is that ability to say if it does have the M label or whatever
yeah,
rating that, you cannot buy it as a minor. You need an adult to do that for you inside the store. So again, we do have the ability to make those conscious choices in this country versus where other countries are more censored than we are. I would find it very hard to believe that this is going to be a ongoing thing.
yeah. So Sinea agrees with us, that
Yeah, I
it
do
should be
agree.
up. Yeah, it should be up to the retailer to sell or not sell the game, but it shouldn't be done at the government level, it seems. And Commando
So
brought up a point that R movies and M's on games just made him want to play them more when he was a kid. So I know that for me was the case with movies.
the one thing
Danielle,
I
what do you
have to
think?
say though that I think is really weird about it is if I find something offensive or disgusting or mean, like I don't buy it. I mean,
Right,
it's like when there was the huge scandal with Chick-fil-A, like Nikki, you know about the Chick-fil-A scandal. We're both from the South. Um,
right,
People just stopped eating at Chick-fil-A.
Mhm.
I don't understand why it's necessary to like pull it off the shelves. Does that make any sense?
right,
Like I do think the retailer should have a choice as to whether or not they want to sell it, but I don't understand what that accomplishes other than
Making people want it
people
more.
aren't buying the game from them.
right. Well, it's
So,
it's up to them. I mean,
I
it
mean,
doesn't those games don't even fit in a retailer like that anymore, you know?
this is true.
A
What
good
do you
Yeah.
think?
example is those damn Breaking Bad dolls that I've been after for a long time, but some particular parents had to ruin it for me as an adult. That if I want to buy a Breaking Bad doll at Toys R Us, because that's where they sell it for adults, not kids, I should be able to get the damn Breaking Bad doll. But I can't have it now because you ruined it, you parents that had to have a hissy fit.
Mhm.
I mean, come
You've
on.
seen
And see, that's the thing.
seasons-
It's like that happened here.
season
That
6.
happened here. You think that there's not a possibility for people to like get in touch with the retailers here and be like, take GTA out of your stores. Like those are things that can happen, so it is a really big deal.
Reality
She
says
said
she loves
Breaking
chicken
Bad.
fillet,
She's
but
Breaking
they
Bad.
just don't want her dirty gay money. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I
Kimmy.
didn't either. Let me tell you what. It feels great
Wait.
to be pansexual and munching on some fucking waffle fries. Because that shit is
Pansexual?
delicious.
Oh man, Danielle, you gotta
Pretty
chime
I
in
like
here.
that.
We're gonna overtalk you the whole night. What do you
Wait,
think?
wait,
girlfriend?
wait. You just said Breaking Bad.
I did.
And I just read that, and I just read yesterday that Vince Gilligan said he's not dead yet. We're coming back for season 6.
Ooh.
You know,
Did you know that?
Spoiler alert, people.
There's no spoiler alert about that. Vince Gilligan said season 6.
Oh man, maybe
It's on
somebody's
the box.
late. Maybe somebody's late.
Like who? I was the last person ever to watch that.
So Danielle, what do you think about GTA being pulled from the shelves?
I think it's lame because it goes back. I heard earlier when someone said that as a kid they were more curious if a movie was rated like R or a game was rated M. I was that same kind of kid. Like I would try and like what was it, Conker's Bad Fur Day? Like I remember like trying to get that game, and I need to get like a parent or a guardian, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they won't let me get it. So I think stuff like that just makes people more curious. So when you yank something like
Right.
that, like GTA, it just makes them more and more curious. Like I need to get this game. So
Right.
it's yeah.
That's why I started drinking at 15.
I mean, that's why I was really mad at Blockbuster when they wouldn't rent me Death to Smoochie. I was so pissed.
You had to be like, Ma, I'll do chores for 6 months. I promise if you just let me watch that movie. Oh man, that's taking me back. Woo! Wow. And then on that note, Danielle, tell everybody where they can find you if they're interested in figuring out what you're up to next, and or just give you some shout outs on the social media.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm on the Twitter at Danielle MCVO. I'm also on Facebook. My page is Danielle Mcrae VO Artist, and I have a website that I update. I usually update daily, but I haven't updated in 5 months. It's
Ouch.
yeah, Danielle Mcrae VO.com. Yeah, I've been busy.
And you guys can check out the information section at the bottom of the page there for the tweeters. And I know we have the link to the website that Ian's going to be throwing up. And we thank you very much for joining us this evening. We're having a ripping, roaring good time. We're going to go into our usual shout outs here. Let's start with Nikki.
I want to give an amazing shout out to Steam, who always seems to take my money on Black Friday and put up games that I say, I'll just wait for it to go on sale for the winter sale, totally forgetting there's a Steam sale. And I want to give a shout out to the wonderful people at Warner Brothers that brought me 4 games I wound up buying: Middle Earth and the trilogy of Batman Arkham, whatever. So that has taken a lot of time for me. But a big shout out to everybody in chat tonight. Thank you so much for joining us each and every week, and make sure you do come back every week. And Danielle, thank you so much for joining us. And Short Stuff, I love you.
Yeah, thank
I
you for
may
having
be
me.
short, but all that matters is I'm taller than Snooki.
All right.
How many
I like that.
how many books are you sitting on today?
None.
Okay.
I'm
a
actually
pillow?
sitting on none, but wait, here we go. I can fix this.
Ah. I love you. You're
Awesome.
so cool.
Pixie, roll your shout outs, girl.
This is
Okay,
my favorite.
so shout outs to everybody in chat. Obviously, shoutouts to Danielle. Shoutouts to Phoenix Covenant. In particular, Adam and Izzy. You guys are amazing, and I love you guys. And my headset's all fucked up. And shoutouts to Mal, my duo partner, and super, super, super big shoutouts to Smoochie.
And Commando. Did you see in chat? He's like, can I get a shout out? Of course you can,
Yes,
Commando.
always. You can get a shout out, Commando bro.
Yeah.
Commando
Yeah, I'm
Brando
sending
bro.
it to you. Yeah, thank you very much for joining us, and make sure you're back every week.
Danielle,
What
shout
about
outs.
Aegon?
Yes, I want to give all of you guys a shout out because I want to thank you guys for having me on. It was a lot of fun, and I want to give a huge shout out to the chat too. Yeah.
Awesome. Yep, my shout outs rolling this week are for producer Ian for coming back week after week and making us look beautiful here, and to our awesome Lort graphic team that is just providing some pretty nice looking overlays week after week. They are a surprise to us each week. We don't know what we're getting. We're just like hanging out in some kind of epic scene. And our fan art that's coming in is looking great. You guys keep submitting that to use the website. You can submit that in. We're going to start showcasing that fan art in the next 2015 year, right after the holidays.
Be very careful not to use copywritten stuff.
Yes, please be very careful. And my other shout out's going to go to our amazing sponsor, Charger Leash. And if you guys scroll down to the bottom of the information section down there, you'll see the discount coupon for Charger Leash. And if you're following anybody that is a member of the Lort Stream team in the next 30 days, we will be giving away product from Charger Leash. You can win your very own Charger anti-theft system with some other special goodies that come into the package as a surprise. There's actually bonus materials and items that come with the prize. So those are going to be random. We're also giving away Ibn Ob codes this month, so check out those guys who are streaming that as well. And next week, if you are here on Friday next week, and if you have something else to do, I suggest you cancel your plans because Bonks will be in the house, guys. What? You need to mark it on your calendar. Our girlfriend's going to be back for a limited time only. And I'm sure Nikki is going to have to go cry herself to sleep tonight to prepare for the heart-wrenching welcome back for Bonks because she has missed her so.
The reunion.
The reunion.
Miss Bonks.
Miss Bonks will be in the house. And those of you who have not tweeted or
but then
followed,
again, it's not
always
a good thing. Not always a good thing when you two to get together. Nobody can get a word in edgewise when you guys
we
start
love
talking.
each other. We're like the Bopsy twins. It'll
love
be
her
awesome.
to death.
So again, thank you for joining us. And if you have not been able to watch the show, you'll be able to catch it on the YouTubes later. And again, have a good night. Every Friday, 9:30, same bat time, same bat channel. Roundtable out. What?
Bring your friends.
Danielle didn't do shoutouts.
She did. You missed it.
Am I deaf?
Yeah, you just
Yes.
right over your head.
You were typing to your friends, your family, watching the game awards.
Multitasking.
Yeah, sorry.
Dreaming about that next cigarette.
I was just playing a game of Karma in League. Don't judge me.
Commando, we are on iTunes. Well, we were until iTunes decided to have a non-rational relationship with YouTube. So I personally do not have time to rip the audio every week. So unfortunately, we're not up there anymore. But who knows? We may come back. Thanks for the follow, Proc7. And with that, we're out, guys. Dance it out, ladies. Do the thing. Do the thing. Roll those credits, producer Ian. Upcoming next is, I don't know, we're playing some kind of group game, Lord Streamers. Not sure what we're playing, but somebody will be on next. Do the thing. Roll the credits.
Lady Sanea. We're done.
We done. We're done. Yay. Rip roaring good time.